So far we had completed the home screen, and when we click on any product, let's suppose if I click on this product, it will open to the product details page. On this product details page we had completed this product carousel. So whenever we can drag left and right all the things with just flat list in a simple and easy manner. Now if we check on the Figma, we have to start working on this functionality, like to render the title, subtitle and the rating. Okay, so let's work on that. So for that, let's go on the code. Let me collapse all the file. Let's click on source, the screen, and we are working on this product details screen. Now whenever if I reload the app, let me show you one thing. If I click on this product, so you are getting one error on the terminal. Okay, the error is like they are telling that check the render method of product carousel. Okay, and each child in list should have a unique key prop. Okay, so these are the two errors which we are getting. So for that, what we are supposed to do, guys, so we have to go inside the product carousel, and here we have to do one thing. So as you can see that they have having a key extractor. So I have just cut this line from here, and after the render item function I'm going to paste this here, and I'm going to return the item.id is the place of index because we are having a id as well. Okay, now another thing is that here we are mapping images.map, right? So after the view, okay, so we have to add a key and we have to pass just index like this. Okay, now if I reload the app, let me reload the app. Okay, now if I reload the app and click on any product details page, it will not warning each slide should have a unique key prop. Okay, I think it should not be with it's still showing. Let me check that. But yeah, it should the error which we are getting just because of this id, or we are not passing the key. That's why it was supposed to get that error. So whenever you are using map, make sure to pass the key as well. All right, now let's go back to the product details screen and start working on this title, rating and the subtitle stuff. For that, after this product carousel, I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna create one view like this, and inside this view I'm gonna create another. Okay, before that I'm gonna name this view. Okay, before here I'm gonna add a comment called title content stuff. Okay, and inside this view I'm gonna call this style, and it's gonna be styles dot title container. And after this view we're gonna have another view that is called title wrapper. Let's add that as well, styles dot title wrapper like this. And after that we're gonna have a product title like this text. So we're gonna have a text. Okay, and here I'm gonna render that what you can tell item dot name. Now if we see that, we are able to see the name. Awesome. Now after this we're gonna call this style is equal to styles dot what you can tell that product title kind of. Okay, and after this text we're gonna have another thing that is called subtitle, right? A sub description of, you can call of brand. So we're gonna render the item dot brand. Awesome. Now as you can see that we are having a item dot title and item dot brand, and I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot brand. Okay, now after this let me copy the title container and let's scroll down here, and here we're gonna add the stuff. Okay, so but before that I have to do one more thing, guys. If you see on the Figma, let's design the skeleton first, then we will apply the styling. So we're gonna have to design this as well, this rating is stuff as well. So what I'm gonna do after this title wrapper, this is a title wrapper. Okay, and let me collapse. After this title wrapper I'm gonna create a rating wrapper. Okay, so if you see that here we are having a rating as well, 4.9. okay, so I'm gonna create another view for that like this. Okay, and I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot rating wrapper. Okay, and here I'm gonna call this and design, like I'm gonna use the and design. Okay, before that let me import the and design. So for that this is the icon, rating icon which we want. So for that I'm gonna search React native vector icon directory. Once you search that, you went to this website, click on this website. After that you have to search what rating. Okay, so I just searched rating and did not found any, so I'm gonna search star. Okay, so once you search the star, you will find this icon and design icon. So I'm gonna use this and design icon. So I just copy the name and design. Okay, and after that after this and I'm going to write icon, and I'm going to write import and design from React native vector icon / and design. Okay, and after this and design, let me copy the and design name, and here inside the rating wrapper let me remove this line of code which I had added right now. So I'm gonna remove this line of code. Okay, so what I had to, inside this rating wrapper, I'm gonna call this and design like this, and I'm gonna pass the name. So name will be what? The name will be heart. Okay, let's click on this. Let's see. Yeah, we can see the heart icon. Awesome. My bad, not heart. Why I'm like, what the hell? It should be star. Like, we want this star icon, not any other. All right. Now after that, let's define the color as well. So the color will of this icon will be what? Colors dot yellow. Right. So we want this color should be yellow, right? So do we have yellow color in this color object? No, we don't have a color yellow object. So I'm gonna add a yellow color as well here, yellow like this, and I'm gonna copy this color code by clicking on this, and let me copy the color code name and let me paste that as well. Okay, now let's go back here and I'm gonna write colors dot yellow. Awesome. Now we are able to see the yellow color, and let me define the size as well. The size will be what? Icon size dot small. Okay, now we are able to see the icon size as well. Okay, and after that after this icon in the below, if you see that at the right side we are having a rating as well value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a text like this, and here I'm gonna call item dot rating. Do we have rating? Item dot rating. Okay, I think we don't have a rating. Let's check on the data. I'm gonna go into the data. Let's check the smartwatch. So we are not added the rating here in this data. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a hard code value for now, because we don't added the rating data here inside this JSON. So I'm gonna add a 4.5 rating, and I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot, and I'm gonna call this rating value kind of. Okay, now so for what we had done, so we had created one content stuff. Okay, we are calling content stuff, and after that here we created one view, and inside that we are having a title container like this, and after that we are having a title wrapper. Inside this title wrapper we are having a product title and the product brand. After that we are having a rating wrapper. Inside this rating wrapper we are having a end design icon and the text. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to make this stuff like this. Okay, so this icon in the center and so on. Okay, so let's do that. So for that I'm gonna copy this title container. Okay, and we have to style the title container first of all. So to style the title container, so we have to go here. Okay, in this styling. So let's go in the styling, and here I have to write title container flex direction. Row is already there, so we can, okay, we don't have to do here anything. Okay, so I'm gonna write title wrapper. Okay, I'm gonna call as a flex as a 1, so it will take the whole height and width. Okay, and something went wrong, like that's very weird. I'm gonna add a one thing here, flex direction as a row for now. Let's check it out. Okay, so what does happen now? So okay, first of all, inside this title container, this is the title container, and here I apply flex direction as a row. After that we are having a title wrapper where we apply flex as a 1. Okay, now as you can see that we are able to see this product name and this rating icon as well. Okay, now after that this title wrapper, after this title wrapper, I'm gonna have a product title, and for the product title I'm gonna add a font family. The font family will be font family dot bold. My bad, it should be a font family dot bold, like this. If you see that on this Figma, so if you click on this title, so as you can see the railway bold family has been applied. So we had applied font family dot bold, and the color is as well as a black color. So I'm gonna add a color is equal to colors dot black, colors dot black. Okay, so we had added the colors dot black as well. After that, we're gonna increase the font size. The font size will be what? The font size will be, let me make a large. Let's see. Yeah, the large looks quite well. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a subtitle, or you can call of a brand as well. Like after this product title, we're gonna call the brand. So we're gonna style the brand as well. So for the brand, what I think so, the font family is a medium. So let's apply a font family of medium. Font family dot my bad font family dot medium. Okay, like this. So after this font family, we're gonna apply the color. The color will be what? Colors dot gray. Okay, and after this color, we're gonna have a font size. The font size will be small. So let's apply font size dot small. Okay, now we are able to see this. Awesome. Now if I want to add some margin, a padding vertical, so you can add it as well. So padding vertical will be spacing dot sm small. So I'm gonna add a padding horizontal as well, so we get some more space. All right, now after this brand, so for what we had done, let me explain you guys once more, so it become much more clear to you. So we are having inside this, first of all, we created a title container. Inside that we are having a title wrapper and the rating wrapper. Okay, so inside this title container we apply flex direction as a row, so it becomes in a row direction. So after that I call the title wrapper as a flex one, so it will take all the height and width which is required for himself, like whatever the height and width, whatever the width has been left for him, so it has taken that whole the width. And after that we had styled this product title and the brand. Okay, now it's time to design this rating stuff. So for that I'm gonna add a rating wrapper. So okay, before that let me show you one thing. So we are having a rating wrapper, and there we are having icon and the rating value. So let's style that as well. So if you see on the Figma, we are having like this. Okay, so let's do. So we gonna call this rating wrapper. Flex direction is a row. Okay, and align items gonna be a center. So what is happen? This content come into the center of stuff, like horizontally and vertically kind of. Okay, and after that I'm gonna add a gap. So gap will be spacing dot small. Okay, spacing dot small, the gap will get applied. And after that, if you see the background color, so there is a different background color. Okay, so we want this background color, that is called lavender color. So we need this color, so let me add that color as well. So colors dot, okay, do we have a lavender color? No, we don't have. So I'm gonna call this okay, let me copy paste, let me paste that color, and I'm gonna call this lavender color. Okay, and let me go back, and I'm gonna call this color as well lavender color. Okay, now you can see that background color. Awesome. Now we want some border radius as well. So border radius, so let me add a border radius. Okay, the border radius will be what? Spacing dot medium. So let me add up that border radius. After that you can see that it has taken the whole height, which is not good. Okay, so first of all let me add some padding. So padding will be what? Spacing dot small, spacing, my bad again, spacing dot small. So we had applied the small padding, okay, to the horizontally, vertically, from all the everywhere. And after that I'm gonna decrease the height. So height will be, we're gonna make a 70. So let's see. So you can see that once I apply 70, it went decrease kind of. So let me do one thing for you guys. So what I supposed to do, guys, so I'm gonna make this height as a 70, not 70, I'm gonna make this 60. Okay, now if you see on this Figma, it's not looking pretty well. So let me decrease as a 40, the height is a 40. Okay, let me make it 50. What do you think, guys? Yeah, 50 looks pretty well for me. Yeah, 50 looks pretty well to me as well. And if I apply justify content center, does gonna anything apply? No, it doesn't gonna affect anything. So what I'm gonna do, and what I'm thinking that let's do one thing. Let me cut this line of code, and after that I'm gonna call this like this. Okay, I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot rating parent wrapper. Okay, and once I copy this, let go the rating wrapper, and after this I'm gonna call this justify content center. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see that once I apply justify content center, it went to the from the top, but it doesn't look well. So I'm gonna do undo this all the stuff whatever I done. So let me do undo. Okay, so as it was, I just do it like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just add from the rating wrapper, I'm gonna add an empty margin top will be spacing dot medium kind of. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty looking well. All right, now after this, what I'm gonna do, guys, let's go on the Figma. We had done with this. Okay, so we have to style this text as well. So so let's design that as well. So let's go back. I'm gonna call this rating value. Okay, and rating value gonna be a color. The first of all, the color will be what? Colors dot gray color. It's a gray color. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a font family. So let's add a font family. The font family will be font family dot medium kind of. Okay, now once you apply the font family, let's apply the font size. The font size will be medium as well. Font size dot medium. Okay, now let me load the app. Now let's click on this. Now it's looking pretty well, guys. What do you think, guys? Looking well? Yeah, it's looking pretty well, guys. Now after that, after this title and this rating stuff, the next stuff which we have to design, that is called color stuff. So let's start working for the color container, but before that let me explain you guys once more. So for what we had done, so let me close all the stuff, close all, collapse all. So inside source, inside screen, inside product details screen, after this product carousel, we just make a one view that is called title container, and after this title container we had created another view that is called title wrapper, and inside this title wrapper we are having a product title and the product brand. Okay, now after that, after this title wrapper we had created the rating wrapper. Okay, inside this rating wrapper we are having a and design icon. Okay, as you can see that this is the yellow icon, and we are having a rating value which is for now static value, which is not coming from any data. Okay, and after that we had designed that the title container, the main container flex tags in as a row. After that we make the title wrapper flex as a 1. Okay, so it has taken the rest width rather than the after this. Okay, now after that we are having a product title, and for the product title we have defined the font family, color and the font size. After that we are having a brand which we are designed like this all the stuff, rating wrapper and the rating value. Okay, so far we had designed this all the stuff. Now it's time to design this color section, so we are going to design this as well. So for that what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna create one view that is going to be called as a color container. Okay, so let's do that as well. So for that I'm gonna create one color container. So let's go back, and after this view contain stuff, I'm gonna call this color container kind of. okay, and we're gonna call this view, and style is equal to styles dot color container, styles dot color container, okay, color container. Okay, now once we're done with the color container, okay, after this view we're gonna have a one text that is going to be called as a colors, and we're gonna call this style is equal to styles dot and color heading, styles dot color heading. Okay, and after this colors heading text we're gonna have another thing that is called view, and here we're gonna render this three datas like silver, bright, orange, and starlight. Okay, so for that I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot parent select, because user can select parent select color container. Okay, parent select color container, and let's design this color container. But before that, here what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna make one thing for you guys. So I'm gonna make a touchable opacity from the React Native, and here I'm gonna have a one a view, so which has just a simple task, and inside that I'm gonna render this text. So whatever the color name is gonna be, so let's suppose if we are having a color name as a silver, let me copy the color name as a silver. Okay, so I just copy the color name as a silver. Okay, and yeah, so for this touchable opacity I'm gonna call style is equal to okay, and let me do one thing. First of all, let me remove this style first of all, and let's do this is all this stuff. So I'm gonna copy the color container, and I'm gonna style this color container. Okay, so for that let's go to the on the bottom, and I'm gonna copy the colored container, and here I'm gonna add a padding top as a spacing dot medium. Okay, now if you see that it has applied some spacing from the top. Okay, now after that we see what we had created. We are having color heading, so let's design the color heading as well. So color heading, the color heading gonna be the font size. So font size will be what? Font size dot medium. If you see, check on the Figma, so if I just check on the Figma, the font size it's medium, and font family is semi bold. So let's apply the font family dot semi bold. Okay, now we are having a font family as a semi bold, and we are having a color is equal to colors dot black. Okay, now after that we're gonna have a padding bottom, and we're gonna call this spacing dot medium. Okay, from the bottom we're gonna apply the medium padding. Okay, now you can see that the colors, and between this we got some space. Okay, now after that we had having a view. So inside this view we gonna render all the colors card. Okay, so if you see that we are inside the touchable opacity, what we have to do, we have to add a one a round circle, and after that we're gonna make this stuff like this. Okay, so for that, so let's go back on the code, and here I'm gonna call one stuff inside the touchable opacity. Let me add a one style. Okay, and I'm gonna call this style as a I'm gonna make one array here, and I'm gonna call this styles dot select color container. Okay, and after that I'm gonna do one more thing that is called I'll apply one more style that is called border color. Border color will be what? Colors dot purple, and let me go here. Now if you see that nothing has been applied, right? So let me copy the select color container, and we're gonna write this style for that as well. And let me copy this select color container. Okay, now here what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna create one object. Okay, so I'm gonna write border width. So border width is a 1. Okay, and border color by default is gonna be as a colors dot what light. Okay, so if you see that here, if we gonna have a by default a back gray color, light gray color. Okay, so let's see that we have this colors dot light gray. We don't have a colors dot light gray. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just select this border and I'm gonna copy this A6 code and let's go code on the code. Okay, so I'm gonna use this colors dot gray color by default. Okay, and now you can see that we are able to see the purple color because on the top here we had applied this border color as a colors dot purple. So we can comment this code for now just for testing purpose. And now if you see that select color container has border width as a 1, border color as a colors dot gray. Okay, now after that we gonna need one circle and we can apply some border radius as well here. So for that I'm gonna make border radius of 4. Okay, and I'm gonna apply padding. The padding will be what? Padding will be spacing dot small kind of. And after this padding I'm gonna apply flex direction as a row. Okay, and after that I'm gonna add the gap. Okay, gap will be what? Gap will be spacing dot small. Because okay, let me do one thing guys. Why we need gap? I'm gonna add it later. But before that, so if you see that what we had done, so here I had created one inside this parent select color container. I'm gonna create one touchable opacity and I'm gonna calling the select color container where we apply border width, border color, border radius, padding and flex direction row. But if you see on the Figma, we also need a circle, right? So let's make this circle as well. So for that what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go inside this view. Okay, and after this before this text, okay, I'm gonna make this view as a style. Okay, and I'm gonna call this I'm gonna call this styles. Okay, let's do I'm gonna call this styles dot circle color. Okay, now let me copy this circle color. Okay, let's go back and here I'm gonna call circle color. Okay, and after that we have to write a styling for this. So I'm gonna write the height as a spacing dot medium. Okay, and width gonna be spacing dot medium as well, but we can't see anything, right? Okay, no problem. Now I'm gonna apply the background color. The background color will be colors dot purple for now, colors dot purple. And border radius, let me apply some border radius. Border radius will be what? Border radius will be spacing dot medium divide by 2 to make this in a circle. So whenever we apply with the half of height and width, it become a circle. So if you see that, now it become a circle. Awesome. Now if you see that silver is on the top of the circle is on the top of this on the text. Okay, so for that we have to write some styling, but before that let me write this styling as well for that. So I'm gonna call this style is equal to, and I'm gonna call this styles dot color text. Okay, so let me copy the name, color text, circle color text. Okay, and I'm gonna call this font size as a font size dot small. All right, and I'm gonna call this font family as well. So let's check the font family. The font family here we are having that is called my bad. Okay, so the font family here which we are having that is called medium. The font family is called font family dot medium. Okay, so it is called as a font family is a medium. And after this medium font family, I'm gonna call this color is equal to colors dot black. Okay, now let's check that. Now as you can see that we are still not able to see that this text. All right, so not a problem. So as you can see that we had applied flex direction as a row. So I'm gonna give some gap, and gap will be what, spacing dot small like this. Now still we can't see, right, because I'm doing maybe some mistake, that's why it could be the reason. Okay, the reason why we are not able to see that text, the reason behind that is too simple, that inside this touchable opacity we have to make the use of view as a self-closing tag. So I'm gonna remove this view and I'm gonna use a self-closing view like this. Okay, that is the reason the text is overriding on the top of the circle is overriding on the top of on the top of this circle. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so we have applied the spacing dot small, as you can see that, and after that what I'm gonna do, guys, for you, so I'm gonna make this stuff justify content as a center and align item center. Okay, now as you can see that we are able to design this one column, one row, but here we are having a 3 items, right? So how we can do that for the 3 items, and it should be that's why here if I show you guys, here we are having a parent select color container. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, guys, let me show you one stuff for you quickly. So I'm gonna cut this line of code. Okay, before cutting this line of code, I'm gonna do one thing for you guys. I'm gonna create one datas. So let me go to the top, but before that let me explain you guys so for what we had done. So after this here we had created the color container, and inside this color container we are having a color heading. Okay, and after that we are having a parent select color container. Okay, and inside this view we are having a touchable opacity that is called select color container, and inside this view, okay, so inside this select color container we are having a border, all the stuff. Okay, and here after that we are having a self-closing view where we are creating the circle, and after that we are having a silver text color like this. Okay, and it is all inside this touchable opacity. Okay, but now what we have to do, we want like almost 3 tasks, like silver, bright light, orange, and starlight. Okay, so what I'm thinking, guys, I'm gonna create one array and I'm gonna use the FlatList, or you can use map, whatever you want, and we're gonna loop this item. Okay, and whenever user click on any item, it will get selected and the border color could change to the purple color. Okay, so this is the stuff which we have to do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, guys, here I'm gonna create one colors data const colors data like this, and here I'm gonna call this color name will be what, the color name will be, first color name will be silver. So I'm gonna copy the name color as a name as a silver. Okay, and the color value will be what, so let me click on this, let me copy the color value. Okay, and it's gonna be f something value. So I'm gonna use the hash like this, and after that I'm gonna just make it 3 times. Okay, so let's go back to the Figma, and I'm gonna copy this bright orange color name, and after that I'm gonna call this starlight. Okay, and after that I'm gonna copy this color value, copy, paste that here as well, and starlight as well, copy and paste that as well. All right, now so for what we had done, we had created one array of objects where we are having a color name and the color value. Why we had created this array of objects? Because we want to show these 3 colors 3 times. Okay, that's why. Okay, now after that, once we create the colors data, we gonna copy the name, colors data name, variable name, and after that let's scroll down. So once we scroll down here, we can see that parent select color container, inside that we are having a touchable opacity. This touchable opacity is used to render, to create this this what you call this color square. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this line of this touchable opacity for now. okay, and I'm gonna use the flat list, okay, and here I'm gonna use the data, and inside this data I'm gonna pass this colors data like this, okay, and after that we're gonna have a render item function, and inside that we're gonna call this like this, okay. So we're gonna call this touchable opacity like this. So inside this render item we get the item, okay. Now once we get the item here, what is, if we can see that we are having a silver name, so I'm gonna make this item dot color name kind of, okay. Now if I click on this, so you can see that we are having a silver, bright orange, starlight, okay. Now after that, if you can see that we are having a style dot circle color, so I'm gonna make this like this, an array. After that I'm gonna add a one comma, okay. I'm gonna open a one curly braces, and here I'm gonna write background color. The background color will become colors dot color value kind of, okay. Now if we see that, we are able to see nothing because it should not be colors, it should be item dot color value, my bad. Now you can see that we are able to see silver, bright orange, and starlight. But if you can see that it is on the column, but in the Figma it should be in a row, okay. So for that I'm gonna make this one thing here. So after this after this random item, here I'm gonna make this horizontal as a true. Now once we apply horizontal, the item went to the horizontal, but if you see that there has been no space, so for that what I'm thinking, guys, I'm gonna use one stuff that is called maybe item separator component. So we have to give a shot that it's work or not. So let me apply item separator component for here. So after this horizontal, I'm gonna use item separator component like this, and here I'm gonna write like this, and we're gonna have a view with self-closing tag, and I'm gonna write style, and after that we're gonna call the width and spacing dot small, okay. Now let's click on this, okay. So now you can see that it's looking awesome, right? So we had given some spacing here, so whatever width you want to give between the item separator component, you can give, totally up to you guys, okay. Now after that I think we are not using this parent select color container, so we can get rid of this parent select color container. So I'm gonna remove this from the top and from the bottom as well, okay. Now my bad, okay. So we had created with the flat list this color code, okay. Now this is the color container, okay. Now after this we're gonna have to design this details and review, okay. So details and review we have to design it here, but before that let me explain you all the stuff once more, what we had done. So first of all, we had created this colors data of array of objects where we are having a color name and the color value. The color name is silver, color value, all this stuff, okay. After that we had created this color container view. As you can see, that is the color container view, and inside that we are having a color heading as a colors, and after that we are having a flat list, and inside this data we are having a colors data. We are passing this colors data, okay. And after that we are having a render item, okay, and inside this render item we are just rendering this square component, okay, and we are trying to loop that, okay. Now inside this render item we get the access to the item. After that we are having a touchable opacity. As you can see that it is clickable, and inside this touchable opacity we had defined the style dot select color container, okay. And after that we are having a view which has self closing tag, which is responsible to make this circle, okay. And after that we are having a text as a name like this, okay. Now once we're done with that, now if I click on this, like whenever we select any color, okay, so it should get highlighted. So for that what I'm gonna do, guys, so we have to do one thing. So I'm gonna create one state that is called my bad. I'm gonna create one state called selected color. Okay, set selected color. Okay, and I'm gonna use state. So by default any color will not get selected. Now once you select any color, so for that here you can see there a touchable opacity. I'm gonna add a on press event like this. So whenever we select any item, okay, so I'm gonna call, so whenever we click on that any items, the item gets selected. So if item dot, so selected color will become item dot color value. Okay, now here what I'm gonna do, guys, for you, just for you guys, that I'm gonna check that item dot, okay, color name if it's equal to the selected color. So for that reason I'm gonna make curly braces. I'm gonna call a border color, and it should become the colors dot purple, kind of. Okay, and I'm gonna remove this commented code for now, and let's click on this. Nothing happened, surprisingly. Okay, so for that let me reload the app quickly. Let's click on this, nothing is happening, right? Now let me open the selected color value. Let me console this selected color. Now as you can see that we are able to see the F2 something value, right, as a selected color. Now if I click on silver, bright orange, so we are updating, like this value is updating, selected color is updating, but this is not applying, this border color is not applying. Okay, so what is the reason? So I'm gonna, okay, so not color name, it should be color value. We are comparing with the color value. Okay, now if I click on this, as you can see that whenever we select any color, the border get turned into the pink color. Okay, so this is just because with this what you called just because with this manage with this state. Okay, now let's go to this select color container. Okay, we are having justify container center, border, padding, all the stuff. Okay, awesome. Now let me explain you guys once more for that. So for that, first of all, we had created the colors data. Why I'm repeating, guys, so you can guys understand this, and this is just for the beginner friendly, that's why I'm trying to repeat it multiple times. So we had created the colors data. After that we had created the selected color, set selected color state. By default the value gets empty, like no color will be get selected. Okay, now after that once you click on any color, okay, so we are having a touchable opacity. So we are calling on press event, and we are just set selected color is equal to item dot color value. Okay, after that I'm checking that if item dot color value is equal to selected color, then what you have to do, you have to just make the border color as a colors dot purple, like this. Okay, awesome. Now after this colors object, we have to start working on details and review stuff. Okay, so for that what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna go to the code, and after this flat list, let me collapse this flat list. This is a color container, and here we're gonna have a details and review stuff. Okay, so for that let me do one thing, guys. I'm gonna have a one view like this, and inside that I'm gonna call this style is equal to, okay, styles dot details review tabs. Okay, so we have to create a two tabs, details tab and review tabs. Okay, so we are calling styles dot details review tab, and inside that we're gonna have a two tab. The first tab gonna be using the touchable opacity, my bad, touchable opacity. Okay, and using the touchable opacity, and after that here we're gonna have a text, and we're gonna call this details. Okay, and after that you can see that we are able to see these details, and let's style that. So I'm gonna copy this details review tab, and for that, and we got to also style that text as well. Okay, so first of all I'm gonna copy this details review tab and scroll down. So after that here I'm gonna paste that quickly, and here I'm gonna make the flex tags as a row because we're gonna add one more item for now. So currently you can see that we are having just details tab. So let me collapse, let me copy paste that quickly for you. So you can see that I do two details for now, not a big deal. Okay, so we apply the flex tags as a row, and we're gonna apply the padding top as a what, spacing dot large, spacing dot large. Okay, now after that what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make gap. Okay, the gap will be what, the gap will be spacing dot large, kind of spacing dot large. Okay, so there has been some gap has been also applied, but if you see that under this selected item there has been some underline as well, so we have to add the underline as well. But before that, after this details distribute tab, we're gonna add one style, and it's gonna be called as a styles dot tab text. Okay, I'm gonna also copy this, and I'm gonna add this as well. Okay, let me copy the tab text. Let's go here and let's call this here. Okay, the font size will be what, font size dot medium, font size dot medium, kind of. Okay, now this means, okay, now let's go back. Okay, let me reload the app. So we applied the font size as a font size dot medium. Okay, and I'm gonna apply the font family as well, font family dot medium. Okay, font family dot medium. After that, you can see that the font family is there, and we're gonna apply the color as well, the colors dot gray. Okay, so we had applied the colors dot gray as well. Okay, now after that we're gonna apply the underline like this. Okay, now we want underline like this. Okay, so for that, how we can achieve that as well. Okay, so we're gonna call this, but before that, for the underline, let me add one stop here. So that's how we can underline that as well. So after this text, I'm gonna add one underline self-closing view like this. Okay, so I'm gonna add here style is equal to styles dot underline. Okay, let me copy this underline. Now let's go to the bottom, and here underline, so we're gonna call this underline something called bottom color as a what, colors dot purple. So colors dot purple. Okay, now we can't see anything because we had not applied the border bottom width. The border bottom will be what, 2, and I'm gonna apply the width as well, 50%. So let's check it out. Yeah, now you can see that under the 50% we had applied, and we're gonna apply the margin top as well, spacing dot extra small. Okay, so let's check it out. My bad. Yeah, so we had applied some margin top as well. Now after this what we have to do, so let me do one thing for you guys. This is the extra touchable opacity which we don't want. Let me remove this. Okay, now if you see that we are having a details, right? Now after that we're gonna cut this line of code, and we're gonna make this review as well. Okay, so I'm gonna make this review like this. Okay, now you can see that review and the details. Awesome. Now here what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna make this stuff like this. Okay, and I'm gonna make this like this, and I'm gonna make this color, and I'm gonna call this color, and after that colors dot purple. Okay, now if you see that the color become purple, but we have to do this stuff conditionally. Okay, but after this content, after this view content, after this touchable opacity, what we need to do after this touchable opacity, if you see that here, we have to add some content, right? For that let's go to the bottom, and here we can see the touchable opacity. And after this view, after this after this details review tab, we have to add a content view. Okay, so for that content view, this is the content which we want supposed to show for you guys. So for that, what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna make one state first of all. So let's suppose if we click on details, it should get selected details, and if we click on review, it should get selected as a review. Okay, so I'm gonna make this const selected tab. Okay, selected tab, set selected tab. Okay, and I'm gonna use state, and by default details will be selected. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this details and add it here like this. Okay, so by default details will be selected. Okay, now here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check that if selected tab is equal to details. Okay, if it's details, then on that way you have to render the colors dot purple. Okay, the color should be purple, and here as well. After that, here if you see that is style dot tab 6, after this comma I'm gonna make this selected tab is equal to review. If it's equal to the review. Okay, my bad. Okay, let's go to the here. Yeah, if selected tab is equal to what, if it's review. Okay, and that scenario you have to only make the color as a purple, otherwise you don't have to. Okay, now as you can see that there's currently the selected tab is review, and that's why it's showing. Okay, now here as well, so for this view as well, this underline view as well, I'm gonna check that if selected tab is equal to review. Okay, if it's review, then only in that scenario you have to add the underline, otherwise you don't have to add the underline. Okay, now let's go here, and you can see that the underline has been get removed. Same condition applies to here as well. If selected tab is equal to what, if it's details, then only in that scenario you have to add the underline, otherwise you don't have to add. Now let's click on this. Okay, now another thing what we supposed to do, so if you click on review or if you click on details, it should select it, the tab gets selected. Okay, so how we can do that, so here on the stretchable opacity I'm gonna add on press event, and here I'm gonna call this function here and set selected tab as a what, review. So let me copy the name review, add it here. Okay, now if you click on review, as you can see that they get selected. Now if you click on details, it is not selecting. So for that, again let's go to the touchable opacity on press like this, and set selected tab, and I'm gonna call this details tab. Okay, now if you click on this, awesome, this is working perfectly. Okay, now after that, after this selected tab, so we're gonna make this content view. So we want to show this content, like the aluminum case is lightweight. So for that I'm gonna make this one stuff, that if selected tab is equal to details. If it's details, then at that point of time what you need to do, you have to make this stuff like this. We're gonna make this text. Okay, for that, inside this text we're gonna render the item dot what you call item dot, let me go to the data, and what data we have, item dot details and item dot review. So I'm gonna call this item dot details. Okay, now let's click on this. Now you can see that we are able to see this details. Okay, but let's make this much more simpler, guys. So I'm gonna comment this kind of code, and I'm gonna make this like one text. Okay, and if selected tab is equal to details. Okay, so for details, let me copy the name. If it's details, then at that scenario we're gonna need a text. Okay, and inside this I'm gonna render this item dot details. Okay, if my bad, let me do undo. So if it's if it's details, so at that scenario I have to render the item dot details, otherwise I have to render the item dot review. Okay, so item dot details, replace details. Okay, my bad, selected tab and details. Let's go here, details. Awesome. So if you see that there's a red stuff is coming, that is like pretty issue, you can ignore that. Like they are telling use single quote, don't use a double quote kind of. Okay, so for what I'm do, like let me explain you guys what we had done. So after this after this tab, details review tab, I created one text. Okay, and if we are calling that, if it's details, so this details tag, like if selected tab is equal to details, then show the data of item dot details, otherwise item dot review. Like if I click on review, it went to the review. Okay, so this is the stuff which I'm talking about. Now we have to style this. Okay, so for that I'm gonna call this style is equal to and styles start. Okay, details content details, let me details content. Okay, now after this, once we copy the content, now let's go to the bottom. Okay, now here I'm gonna add a stuff. So for that, first of all I'm gonna add a color. The colors dot gray color, if I'm not wrong. Let's see on the Figma. Yeah, it is a gray color. Okay, now after that we're gonna apply the font family. The font family, what? The font family is dot regular. Okay, now after that we're gonna apply the font size. The font size will be what? The font size dot medium. Okay, and the padding vertical, the padding vertical will be what? Spacing dot extra small kind of. Okay, now let's check it out. It's looking well, but if you see that there is one issue, like we are not able to scroll to the bottom. Okay, so that's weird, right? So why we are not able to scroll that? How we can fix this up? To fix that issue, what we supposed to do, guys? And like I'm not able to scroll, like there's more content but I'm not able to scroll. For that I'm gonna, after this container, let's go to the bottom. After this view container, I'm gonna add another container that is called view from the React Native, like this. Okay, and I'm gonna cut this line of code. Okay, and let's wrap up this up, and after this view I'm gonna call this scroll view, like this. Okay, now we are able to scroll it on the bottom. Okay, we are able to scroll it, and I'm gonna call this scroll view as a style. My bad, style is equal to, okay, styles dot scroll view container. Okay, now let's go to the bottom, and here I'm gonna call this scroll view content. For that I'm gonna remove this, I'm gonna add a scroll view container, and here I'm gonna move the padding from top to this here. Okay, now let's check it out. Awesome. Now still you can see that we are not able to scroll to the more from the bottom, right? So for that I'm gonna make this content as a flex as a 1. Okay, and now if let me try give once more sort, still we are not able to sort. So I'm gonna call this padding bottom almost 200. Okay, let's go back, let's click on this. We are able to scroll padding bottom almost 200. Now I'm gonna make this 500. If I make it 500, let's go back, let's click on this. Okay, we are able to scroll this content whatever we want, but for this padding bottom, that is only possible from this let me do undo. Okay, for that what we have to do, we have to go here inside this details content text, and I'm gonna add a padding. Bottom will be what, 200 for now. Let's keep it short. And now we are able to scroll to the batting from the batting bottom. Okay, so yeah, whatever we want to give, you can give. Now after that, if you click on this back icon, this is not working, so let's work on that as well. So for that, let me go to the header component, and here I'm gonna create, as you can see that we are having a arrow back function, and I'm gonna touchable opacity on praise, and where we calling one stuff that is called, okay, let's do one thing, const navigation is equal to use navigation like this, and I'm gonna call this navigation dot go back like this. Okay, now if I click on this back icon, it should get work. Awesome. So we have work on this stuff as well, and details, review, all this stuff. Awesome. Now let's go back, let's click on headphone, boat rockers, and we are able to see that. Awesome. Now after that, if we go to the browser, we have to design this button, add to cart button as well. So how we can design that add to cart button? To design the add to cart button, we have to use one package, okay, that is called linear gradient background kind of. So let's do that as well.